This week's Piltch Point with Avram Piltch is proudly powered by PureVPN. The best way to protect your privacy online is with PureVPN. You can hide your online activities, say goodbye to regional restrictions, and improve your streaming quality. Plus, it is available for almost all of your devices, and you can get a special price right now by going to pilchpoint.live/PureVPN. All right. So, 2021 is becoming a bit of a hands-on year for Piltch Point episodes, because I think you've got something else to show us tonight.
Yes, I do. So this notebook here is the ThinkPad X1 Nano. This is one of the newer ThinkPads around. It's been out for a few weeks now. So this is a 13. This is a super duper light and thin notebook here. We've before talked about the X1 Carbon, which is 14 inches and weighs 2.5 pounds. This is a 13-inch notebook that weighs 1.99 pounds. So really 2 pounds, but they want to say 1.99 because that sounds better. On the inside here, we have all the amenities that you expect from a ThinkPad. The keyboard has the fantastic ThinkPad feel that a lot of people, including me, love. It has the track point for navigation and a touchpad for those who don't like the nub. Shame on you. You should all like the nub. The 13-inch screen is a very interesting resolution. This is a 16 by 10 screen, and it is 2160 by 1350. So it is an interesting aspect ratio.
Indeed.
And it is so you're getting a lot of screen real estate, and it is extremely bright. It is marketed as 450 nits, and normally when something says it's some amount of nits, it's a lot less when we average it out from all the corners. But this one came up on our test of 430 nits, so that's pretty good. Super bright, pretty colorful, not the most colorful. It hits 101% of the sRGB color gamut, which is pretty decent, and but just 71% of the wider DCI P3 color gamut, so decent. It comes with a 11th generation Intel processor, either a Core i5 or a Core i7 with 4 cores and 8 threads. It has 8 or 16 gigabytes of memory, and forget about upgrading it, so definitely get it with 16. Comes with an SSD up to, well, it's either 256 up to, I think you can get it with 2 terabytes, but generally 1 terabyte is probably the most you would want to get because it gets more expensive. It gets, despite its thinness, it's 0.55 inches. It gets 12 hours of battery life. So really good battery life, really fantastic keyboard. And the keyboard just feels great, and just really thin and light, and a very bright, sharp display with lots of room for work. Their performance is good. Obviously not not great for gaming because it uses Intel Iris Xe integrated graphics, so it's not going to get, you don't want to do a lot of gaming on it. The one really big disadvantage of this is the ports. So this, because it's so thin, it only has, this is all it's got. Let me see if I can get that in front of the camera. All it's got are two Thunderbolt 4 ports and your headphone and your one lonely headphone jack. So, and one of these ports you're going to use for charging, although you could charge and dock over the same port. So if you were out and about and somebody handed you a USB stick with some data on it, you would need a dongle. But other than that, this has a really nice soft touch finish on it. Feels really premium, even on the bottom here. Reminds me a lot of my X1 Carbon, which I own one and have used happily for a couple of years. But it's thinner, lighter, and it's lighter by a lot. And I actually like the smaller display because it allows me, it balances better on my lap. And it just feels like, hey, when I'm typing on this, it's like, wow, this is just like, it's so small and so it's so, compact. I also, the fact that it uses the 16:10 aspect ratio means it's taller and less wide, which is just, but there's plenty of room on the keyboard anyway. So it's just really great for, you could easily stuff it in a bag. You can easily balance it on your lap, easily kind of tuck it, put it somewhere without, without it taking up too much space. I mean, that would be a concern for me when nowadays I'm typing on the couch and then my daughter's trying to climb all over me and my son's in my face. And it's like, oh, they're going to knock my laptop over. They keep knocking into me. Well, smaller one, it's a little bit easier to balance and keep out of the way. And, this just really incredibly light. Keyboard feels fantastic. And it just has a great productivity feel to it. I think in ways even better than the 14-inch one that I own. The one downer that would hold me back from getting it is that it is the port situation. Also, it's, at the moment, because it's a fairly new product, doesn't come cheap. So the starting price is $13.50 or so. And for that, you get it with 8 gigs of RAM, a 256 gig SSD, and a Core i5. So I would at least get the one with 16 gigs of RAM and a 512 SSD, and that's $17.27. And the one that I have in my hand here has a Core i7 processor instead of a Core i5. So that brings it to $18.47. Not cheap, although with sales and things like that, I wouldn't be surprised to see something with this configuration selling for under $1,500 at some point. So it's really, really great productivity system.
Nice. And did you say it's already available?
Yes, it's already out. It's been out for a few weeks. You can get it at Lenovo.com, where you can custom configure. It. The main options that you have are just really how much, what processor you have, which is really just a Core i5 or a Core i7. How big, how much RAM, which is 8 or 16. What size SSD, which is up to a terabyte, and that's it. They all come with the same screen. Oh, the highest end model comes with a slightly faster processor, and with a anti-smudge touch. Oh, and with a touch screen. If you pay for the $2,200 model, you can get a touch screen. I personally wouldn't bother getting a touch screen on a laptop like this.
Okay. So a bit of a range in price, but like you said, it's still pretty new, so it's naturally going to be a little higher in price.
Yep. But it's for those who really like to work on the go, and on the go might even be on your couch. This is really, really convenient and light, and I just love the size of it. I've been using a 14-inch, and this 13-inch is it fits better. It's really nice and compact. So, and I have to say that my laptop lifestyle has changed over the last year. as probably a lot of people's has.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to use my laptop for everything, including when I was sitting at my desk, and I would take it back and forth with me to the office and everything like that. Now that, I'm home because of working from home all the time, I've invested in getting a desktop in my home office. I don't use my laptop at all in here because powering 4 monitors, I get a lot better performance out of a desktop.
Sure.
But my laptop, I still have a lot of use for it because there are those times when I got to go in the living room and watch the kids because I don't want them climbing all over in here and or whatever. And I grab my laptop for that. And having a compact laptop with long battery life is convenient even within the home. So I definitely, we will have a dedicated detailed review up of this this week on tomshardware.com. But I figured I would show it to everybody beforehand and say, this is actually a really good laptop, and I really like it.
I'm becoming a fan of that soft touch. Obviously, longtime viewers of the show before this got pushed off to the side and out of frame with the studio redesign know that, I've got my Surface Book, and it is anything but soft touch. It is very cold and kind of weird sometimes. And one of my laptops up in the office has that soft touch to it, and I've really grown to like it. I didn't think I was going to.
Yeah. That's actually a really key feature, because it's not just like a luxury that you're touching it and it's got a soft touch. The palm rest is soft touch. So this area here where you're resting your wrists is I mean, it's not as soft as it could be, but it's pretty soft. So that's good, because when you're typing all day on it, your wrists are digging in, and so having like hot metal or hard, if it gets warm, hot metal under your wrist, or especially, I hate laptops that have a sharp front lip that start cutting, like digging into you.
Yeah.
That stuff really matters. I mean, for some folks, maybe they don't care, but for me, it matters a lot. I mean, here at my desk with my external keyboard, every day, all day, it's, gel rest. So when I pick up a laptop, I want to come as close to having that soft, cushion under my wrists as I possibly can. And the best I can do, because you can't really use gel rest with a laptop,
sure,
is to have soft touch.
I think after I got this, I showed at CES one time where I had creases right in my wrists, because this has the ultimate and sharp front edges. For anybody who's ever held one, they are super sharp, and over time they actually chip a little bit and get terrible. It's like a serrated knife. So I'm always looking for something that has that feature to it. And it's so weird, because even just a couple of years ago, it wasn't really like a conscious thing in my mind, and today it's so important.
Yeah. And that's a premium material. That's one of the reasons why you're paying so much for this, is that you're getting that really premium material that it's made out of, which is like I think it's made out of, I'm pretty sure it's made out of magnesium alloy, but it's really the soft touch paint that gives it that feel. So because it's so light in your lap, because it's so soft, it's just like, oh, this is so pleasant to have on my lap and to use on your lap. And I can really see, like, if I was in a pre-COVID, hopefully post-COVID world, if you were in a crowded place, like I've been at press conferences where I had people like jammed up against me, like having something that doesn't really hang off your lap much, that you've got a lot of like free space is really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I look forward to reading the review on this. Obviously, already it's sounding like it's going to be a pretty positive review. But I always enjoy the details. You said that'll be this week.
Yep.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to it, and as always, I look forward to what you bring next time. Uh-oh. I don't remember how to use my computer anymore. There we go. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Piltch Point with Avram Piltch. If you did, please subscribe to our channel, and of course hit the notification bell since subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. And if you've got topics you'd like us to discuss in the future, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you don't want to follow us on YouTube, that's okay. There's a lot of other ways that you can follow our content. You can find all of that by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all the different ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.